Hey, how's it going? It's Ryan here, Fat Loss Strength Coach, coming to you today with a video, another personal message video. I guess you call it a vlog video. It's been a while since I made one of these videos, and I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about my powerlifting meet that's coming up. And unfortunately, I registered late, and the meet is full. So I'm competing at the Pacific Coast Open, I think it's called. It's going to be Old School Iron in Vacaville. So I don't know if I'm going to actually get to step on the platform, but I'm going to train as though that I am going to compete. So as you can tell, I'm getting leaner. My face is like chiseled out. And if you are following me along on the New Year's resolutions, the 30-day goals, I want you to know that I'm still committed to doing a after shot. But in case you're interested in seeing kind of my progress, I actually put a picture, kind of after picture of me on Instagram. You can kind of see how my abs are starting to show a little bit. And I should be about probably 182 by the end of the month. I'm hovering around 185 right now, and things are going pretty good. I'm really sticking to the diet, which is basically, keeping the calories in check. But I kind of want to I was thinking this today, and I wanted to make a conversation piece about it, and it's about mobility. And for those of you that may have found my channel, I used to do a lot of mobility videos in the past, and I plan to do some more in the future. But I kind of been doing these kind of challenges for myself, and I'm starting to think that mobility, as fun as it is, or as the results that we get from stretching and foam rolling and using bands and whatnot to stretch, I'm finding that mobility might actually be sort of a waste of time. And I'm starting to understand when a lot of people say you shouldn't foam roll before you work out. And there's some truth in that. It depends on the context and how you want to use that information. But what I wanted to really get to explain to you is that I did this, 2,000 kettlebell swing goal, right, over 14 days, like 120 swings a day or something like that, more or less, maybe 150 swings a day. Not too crazy, not too difficult. It was challenging for sure. But then I also started this new goal, which is to do 2,000 squats in 14 days. And what I found after just doing 2 days of 250 squats of bodyweight squats, I found myself getting easier to the bottom of the hole of the squat. Even though my right heel comes off a little bit and I'm getting a bit of a butt wink, even though I'm strong, so I can tolerate it. So again, it just goes to show that a lot of what mobility is really motor control and not so much the stretching piece. Now, I think you should still stretch and you should still foam roll if you're having restriction, but understand that a lot of the problems that we have are going to probably be solved more so if you're able to basically just do the movement correctly, or as correct as you can, without causing injury or making or aggravating an injury, I should say. Because I can do a lot of bodyweight squats and it doesn't seem to aggravate my hip. It's just really uncomfortable, When I put weight on my back, well, then there's a problem. So it's kind of those things like you're trying to practice to get into position to allow your body to use the right muscles. Because when you go to the bottom of the squat, your hip drops below your knee, right? One of the biggest challenges is being able to keep your knees neutral, or at least over your toes, or just in line with your toes, or not together, and also not let your feet flatten. And what that requires is not just good ankle mobility, but you need good adductor strength and motor control, so that way your hips can move forward in the squat. And then of course too, you need to use your glutes, your gluteus medius, to kind of push your knees out. Now you don't really have to really push your knees out, but it's really just keep them straight. A lot of what the gluteus medius does, the glute med, it's meant to be a stabilizer. So when you walk, when you're standing and you're walking across the room, it's more so that you're stepping forward and the leg that's on the ground is the leg that's stabilizing your hip. This is the reason, one of the reasons why maybe some people, if you ever have that feeling when you walk and your knee buckles a little bit, that's usually related to having a weak glute medius. It means a lot of other things too. It's not just that, but the glute medius is starting to appear, in my experience, in my training and watching other clients and helping people. The biggest problem in people's hip pain. It's not the only problem, but understand that if you have the way to tell you can pretty much, it's pretty safe to say you have a weak glute medius. I mean, people who are strong, people who are weak have a weak glute medius. It's just that people who are weak or novice and beginners, they don't need a ton of glute medius work because they're weak. And if they just train, their whole body will get strong. But once you get to a level where you're actually getting stronger and you're making progress, and you can squat over 300 pounds pretty easily, bench, you're strong, basically stronger than most of the population. You got to spend, and you're having hip pain, you're having knee pain, there's a good chance that your gluteus medius is weak. So you're going to want to work on clamshell exercises. You can look those up. I might have some on my channel, but just look for something on YouTube, or something as simple as single leg balance, like I'm talking to you now, and I'm just reminded of how I can just balance myself with one leg. And you do it by not just balancing on one leg. You're putting your hip into extension, and then you're squeezing your glute, and you're tightening up your abs. And what this does is it makes your glute work, but it also makes your foot work to make the arch in the foot. So I talked about the gluteus medius. I talked about my goals. I talked about some of my pictures. If you want to see them on Instagram, there'll be a link in the description. But I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. Wanted to make a video like this. If you like these videos, leave a comment below. I'll make another one in the future. I got some hip pain videos and I think I got a few more deadlift videos coming out, but I just haven't had a chance to film. Actually, I haven't had a chance to edit either. But anyways, I'm working on some projects to help more people. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Click like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And I'll see you guys all on the next video. See you guys later.